Close your eyes, 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 eyes.
I am fully open and present in the moment to receive any guidance that speaks to my soul. I will be honest and authentic with myself, facing the truth that my body, my intuition is guiding me as either confirmation or a nudge for healing. I am prepared to wholeheartedly start or continue on my journey to self-discovery and healing. Hello everyone. Welcome to Willow and Roots. It's Michelle here and I have another reading for you. Today's reading we're going to be connecting with Gaia, right? So we've all been experiencing extreme weather. So that could be heat waves and that could be cool waves as well, right? Now, where I am in the UK, we had a very, very cool spring, right? It actually wasn't even spring because we were wearing winter jackets, right? So there was no spring. And summer only just started in July, and it's actually not consistent weather. It's more so a few days that's not blocks but more spread out. So when you put it together, so far it's a little bit like a week of summer weather, right? So again, it's not in blocks, it's kind of days spread out. And like today is cool, right? And we're in summer, so it feels like early March, like the beginning of spring weather, and it's summertime. So I don't know, other people, you guys are having like really hot weather and it's for some unbearable, right? For others, you guys know that, well, this is not something unusual, right? So we're just gonna have a little chat with Gaia. We're gonna have a little chat with Gaia to find out what's going on. Is it something that humanity is doing? So not necessarily us little people who are not making stuff in our kitchens to destroy the environment. It's more so, is it something that is man is doing to interfere with the weather, to create a lot of disruption with the cycle of life, the way we are living, the way we're being? Or is it something that is natural, cyclical? Or is it a combination of both? Right? Let's see. Connecting with the energy of Gaia. Mother Earth, Gaia. What guidance do you have for the collective? What is going on with the weather? What is going on with the earth? Please may I have a card that represents what's going on with the earth? So we have here the Four of Earth. Interesting, Earth, Earth. We have here the Four of Earth. And we have here a bee. And we have these standing stones. So it's giving me the energy of the natural order of things. So it could be very much so cyclical, right? Let's stew on that. So the energy that's coming from this, it's a need for stability, it's a need for grounding, it's a need for connecting with the earth, connecting with your surroundings, your environments, creating more green space as well. So Gaia is saying that there's a need for it, and Gaia is also going to be able to create it, bring back stability and order to the earth. So that's what this is telling me, because we're seeing bugs here and it's almost like we all need each other, right? So, and a feeling that I had during like lockdowns, because we are also animals and we're a part of that whole ecosystem, with our absence, it also affected the order of things. So the earth is trying to get back into balance, right? Trying to get back into balance. A need for balance and a need for us to recognize the role that we play in this whole ecosystem. The insects needs us as much as we need them. The plants, the vegetation needs us as much as we need them. Animals, even though we're a part of that, needs us as much as we need them, right? The soil, everything, crystals, all of that, everything, the all. We're all a part of it. So there's a sense to have that connection with the earth, and everything in it. This is what I talk about a lot. And it's heavily stressed here because there's a lot of us where we are detached from it. We think that we're completely different. I'm hearing a different entity, and we are not. It's like when you die, you get buried in the earth. If you're cremated, your ashes get sprinkled into water. So you go back to the earth, right? And you go back to the air if it's burning. The essence goes back to the earth. So it's like recognizing that. And I'm seeing here a lot of bees. It's like working together as a unit to restore balance. So it's how as well we need to do that, because it's very easy to interfere to the point where we're doing more harm than good, right? So I'm picking up from this, it's more, and it's a very green card, is doing things the organic way. So by what you take from the earth, you put back in the earth, right? So let's say you're growing potatoes. So if you are growing potatoes in order to eat potatoes, what you take out, you're going to plant roots in to grow potatoes, right? It's just a natural flow and order of things. It's the cycle of things. It's us stepping into the cycle of evolution here, of development, of growth. It's telling us to do that. And with the old standing stones, it's almost like the old system, the old order of things. It's like, I'm hearing it's like a no-brainer. Getting your hands dirty. It's a no-brainer to do things the organic way, the ways that it's always been done. Predates. Okay? But it's a harmony energy here, a need for harmony. We have another card. 9 of water and 3 of water. So we have here the 9 of cups. And we also have the 3 of cups. So it's saying that with the 9 of cups, it's like this should be the main goal, the outcome that we're seeking, the stability, having balance, being connected to the earth. And with the 9 of cups, it's all about, okay, your desires, what you're desiring. And the desire is facing a need for balance, a need for restoration, a need for deep connection. And it is saying that to move in that direction, no matter the consequences. So that should be the aim, right? And being at peace with moving in the direction of wanting to restore order on the earth, balance on the earth, doing your bit. It's just you doing your bit, where it is not harming or affecting others or yourself, because it doesn't have to be destructive. That's the thing that I don't understand with a lot of people in positions of power, and when they're dealing with the environment, or when it comes to pollution, etc., they're not getting to the core issue here. But look at the salmon. It goes upstream to release eggs that's the next generation, but also to die. So it's like not losing sight again of how things were done, how our ancestors did things, how they were more connected to the land. Not losing sight of it and practicing it, and being in an energy of learning how to be resourceful. I'm also getting like eating based on the seasons. because we're very spoiled where we tend to do things where we get food that's not in season where we are. So we need to get back to that, where we're eating based on the vegetables and the food that is available during that season, because it's at its peak, and that's where a lot of the nourishment is, right? It's usually at its best. Now it's stepping back into that energy, or tapping back into that energy, but being at peace with having less. This is you actually. I'm seeing people where you have a homestead and you're actually growing your food, and you may not be able to get avocados during a particular season, but it's okay, because you're happy with what you have. You have gratitude for what you have grown. You have enough, right? So we've been trained, conditioned to want in excess, to be in excess, to live in excess. And it is saying to be happy and comfortable with what is available to you at that time. We need to kind of get back into that energy of reconnecting with the earth and understanding it in that way. That's how we can do our bit to help the environment. Not just going on the beach picking up garbage. You can, yes, of course. But more so, we have to make a stand and tell these organizations, these companies that are providing the food in non-recyclable packaging, that we don't want that. We are willing to not have those produce if it's not transportable. It's okay, we don't need it. So it's learning how to be comfortable with having less at your disposal when it comes to certain food items. So not being able to have your mangoes and you're in, you're in the UK or you're in America or whatever, right? Your Caribbean mangoes. It's okay. It's okay. But it's cutting back on that whole transport side of things as well. Because what's happening is we're being punished. They're cutting back on flights and all that other stuff, but they're having these ships and all these other modes of transport to transport food items, things that we don't necessarily need. And the nourishment might not even be in it. So we're eating trash too, right? Okay, let's get some tarot. Okay, so we have here the Hierophant. Yes, look at that. It's that energetic and spiritual connection with the earth. It's seeing the beauty or seeing source in yourself and it all in the earth. It's connecting with the source energy, with God. So it's coming back to basics again. If you look at cultures or the spirituality throughout the world, we're talking about back in the day, right? There is a connection with the land and the connection with God, connection with the self and connection with each other. And that's what it is calling for. Seeing God, seeing spirit in the land, in the self, in others, connecting in that way. It has a feeling of humanity has regressed. Humanity has detached themselves from this side. You know, the divine self, the God self, seeing God, believing in God. May I have another card? We have Six of Fire, Six of Swords, and you not believe this, the Lovers. Love. That is exactly what it's all about. Recognizing that God is love. Tapping into that energy, that unconditional love, that deep connection again with the self, with the earth, and all in it. The Six of Fire, the recognition, seeing it. It's almost like with having your eyes open, wide, and taking it all in. Spirit is you, and you are spirit. The experience is one and the same. That's gorgeous. Everything that you have in your life. Be grateful for. Be open to sharing with others. It doesn't necessarily have to be material. It could be verbal. It could be a smile, an action. But it is saying that we need to be in an energy of truly being connected. And that's what Gaia is saying. We have lost sight of who we are. Humanity has disconnected from Source, themselves. And it's seeing how it's related. It's all interconnected. Okay, what else? Okay, so we have here Two of Gardens, Two of Pentacles, Stranger of Gardens, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Ace of Gardens, the Ace of Pentacles. You notice that it's all gardens here. About growing, about seeing it, seeing what is available to you, what is there staring you in the face, and we're just not seeing it, right? Totally blocked. And it is saying like coming into balance, right? So there's a need to, with the Hierophant and the Two of Pentacles, I'm feeling with this where it's having faith and having facts. Having faith in Source, having faith in yourself, having faith in humanity, right? And having facts, seeing what is before you, seeing what is divine and seeing what is destructive and how you can heal and overcome this. What can you do in order to correct this? Because it affects us all. It affects us all. It don't matter where you are on the financial bracket, where you're living. It still affects you. Okay? So we have here with the Six of Wands and the Knight of Pentacles. It is like people are slowly awakening to this. So it's going to take time. It's not something that's just going to be like boom, 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 boom. And then the earth is fixed. This is, I'm hearing, being prepared to be in it for the long haul. Be in this energy of being a warrior for spirit, a warrior for the earth, being able to withstand challenges, obstacles by knowing your truth, having that awareness as to what you want to achieve for yourself and your family. Fairness for all, growth and stability for all, abundance for all. But it's like recognizing it, knowing it, and staying the course, no matter how long it takes. Believing in your convictions here, not losing sight of the goal. And with the Ace of Gardens and the Lovers, it is telling me that once we all unite, once we are all in unison, we're going to be able to create a world that is so abundant, no one will be in need. And I know that sounds so idealistic, but it is possible because that is what Spirit wants for all of us. We have the Ace of Pentacles here. When we think of traditional Ace of Pentacles, it's the hand of God handing a pentacle to the seeker. And it is saying that once you're in this energy where we're all in alignment, we're all vibrating at the same frequency, seeking the similar outcome, that's when we will be blessed with great abundance, or the potential to create great abundance. But with all these cards being pentacles on the bottom, it's requiring commitment and staying power. Being sure of who you are, what you believe in, what you are fighting for, right? And staying the course, not losing sight of what you are seeking. Wow, that is beautiful. Okay, do we have any advice? Okay, let me just get an advice. And I'm going to do like 3 options for people to choose from. I'm going to pick a card at the end. Okay, may I have guidance for the collective? So we have here flexibility. That's a lovely little send off. Flexibility. And we have the bamboo here. being flexible in your approach. There is a need to not be fanatical. There's a need to not be fanatical, obsessive, and aggressive. There's a need to be flexible, being able to see things from various angles, various perspectives, but without losing sight of your beliefs. And if your beliefs are a bit rigid, being able to take on board new ideas, right? New approach, because that's what it's about. It's about here, everyone has a voice, everyone has a say, but it's being able to weigh facts, right? And also feelings, like what you know, what you feel, etc. Right? So the emotional body, intuitive body, instinctive body, and the whole mental body, and being rational, logical. So it's weighing, it's kind of playing with the two as well, weighing the two, being flexible in that energy, but more importantly, being open to unite. So we can all have differing views and opinions, but everyone should be heard, not dismissed, and violence should be an absolute no-no, because that is definitely not of God. So let's throw that out there, okay? Wow, this is beautiful. So let's get to the pick a card segment. Okay, so we're at the pick a card segment. So I'm going to pull 3 cards, and you just choose one, and there's a message in it for you with regarding this topic, as to messages from Gaia. What can you do for the environment, just on the scale at where you're at? So whether it be for you and your family or for your community. Okay. The idea is, if we're all doing the best for the environment, it expands outwards, right? That's how the collective energy works. Okay, what's this? May I have a card for the first option? Okay, so I can do it like that. 1, 2. You only want 1 there. 2, 3. Okay, so we have option 1, option 2, and option 3. Let's look at option 1. So we have the 4 of air. So that's the 4 of swords. So with the 4 of air, this is telling me it is time to take a step back and to really connect with your thoughts, yourself, how your views on the whole idea of being connected to the earth, right? Your whole views on being connected to everyone else in the world. I mean, I'm picking up that some of you might not like humans very much. And I get that. It's more so human behavior, right? So not necessarily humans, it's just the behavior of some humans. Now, this is saying to take a step back, to regroup, because a lot of the dislike is actually stemming from the self. So there is qualities or something about yourself that you need to look into and ask, why am I feeling this way about other human beings, right? It's also calling for self-care. So it could be where you could be working yourself so hard that you need to take a step back and to regroup again. Be in alignment mentally, emotionally, and physically, right? Definitely go off into an environment where there's a lot of green space. So it could be a lodge. I'm hearing for someone going up into the woods where there's a cabin or a lodge, and just having like a weekend away, or it could be a week or 2 away, where again you're connecting with yourself, regrouping, connecting with nature, having that time out from the busyness, from the activities around you. That's what this is calling for. Nice, guys. You guys get a time out. I'm seeing a bird in a nest. It's a bird in a nest. So it's like, or a bird near a nest. So guarding what you have. The nest is like your family, and the self. So taking a little family breakaway, or you taking a breakaway from your family to regroup. But this is definitely about coming into balance and in alignment, like resting. I'm hearing resting your soul. May I have a card for option 1? So this is what you're guided to do at this point. Because if you're not strong and together, you can't help anyone else. So we have here the Jester of Tides. That's the Page of Cups. So it's all about, again, looking after yourself. But during this time of rest, this is where you can get some of the most inspiring ideas, right? Creative ideas or ways on how you can improve or help the environment on a scale that is, again, for you or your family or your community, right? So there's a sense, again, of going off, regrouping in order to be inspired. That's lovely, guys. Yeah, you have to fill your own cup. You have to, yeah, Ace of Wands just popped out. So that's like clarity, to receive clarity and to know exactly what you need to do. How you're meant to go about helping, again, the environment on a level that is reachable or right for you. That's gorgeous. Okay. Let's see, option 2. The Messenger of Earth. So with the Messenger of Earth, this is like the Page of Pentacles. And for you guys, you are actually able to see, I'm getting like activist vibes. Like some of you may be already be very active in protecting the environment, but more so you're able to see where everything is headed, the direction where Earth is headed, right? And you guys are the truth speakers. You're the truth seekers and speakers, right? So you're meant to gather your thoughts and to share what you know with the collective. So it could be, again, with your family, your community, or even on a greater scale online, right? So what you know, what you're seeing happening, and solutions at that. Because Pentacles, again, it's what is tangible, what can be done, what can be effective. So it's saying that if you have any solutions, put it out there. Put it out there. I'll never forget that woman, I can't remember her name, where there was an issue with cotton buds being flushed down the toilet. And cotton buds used to be made with the plastic, that tube, and you have the cottons on each side of the plastic tube. Now, I don't know how these companies didn't even think about it, but this woman said, why don't we use paper? So that tube, instead of it being plastic, it being paper. And this is what we get right now. It's all over the place. You can flush it, it just disintegrates, and that's it. It's not going to pollute anything. It's not going to be sat in the sewage. I mean, I'm sorry. With plastic, it won't absorb into the earth, but with the paper, it does, right? So that was brilliant. That was brilliant of this woman. So you are someone where you may have solutions that can solve a lot of the problems, and you're either sitting on it, or there's a need for you to step out and speak your truth. Speak what you know and speak of solutions, right? Don't be afraid of what others will think or being criticized. That's not what it's about right now, right? We don't have time for that. Now look at that. You have the Ace of Fire. That's all about, look, a fresh new start. That's all about inspiring ideas, creative ideas that makes a difference, that evokes change, that it inspires change. So you have this within you, and it needs to be released. Think of a volcano. The volcano holds all of those rocks and that fire inside, and then it eventually erupts. But with you, you don't want it to get to that point where things are so bad, then you're like, boom, it erupts, and then you have all these ideas. You want to release these ideas, right, into the collective before shit hits the fan. Yeah, look at that, the Fool. So it's all about taking a risk. You may have ideas that's not necessarily proven, right? But you got to start somewhere, right? So this is saying putting it into action. We have movement cards here. So with the Fool and with the Ace of Fire, with it being the Ace of Wands, there's movement, divine spark, right? So these are also divine inspiration that can help humanity. Think of it on a grander scale, okay? That's for you guys. Beautiful. Okay, let's see. Option 3, we have the Two of Earth and the Three of Earth. So we have here graduation. So with you guys, option 3, you guys are the protectors, right? So we have the Two of Earth where you have a mother bear and her cub, right? And then you have the Three of Earth where you have these horses and they're like eating grass and just enjoying their life out in the fields. Now it's saying that you're the person where, or the people where you're all about protecting what is yours, protecting the land. This is the energy of what we spoke earlier, where whatever you take from the land, you return to the land, right? So it's giving me that gardening vibes. So starting to plant your own food and vegetables, starting to speak up to these corporations, these big companies. Okay, we're not standing for this anymore. We don't want the plastics, or we don't want these containers that are not recyclable, right? Because we ain't gonna be getting blamed for it. So don't provide it. We don't want it. And this is the greater, you're great in numbers. So this pile, there's a large number of people who fall into this section. And actually some of you might have chosen previous piles as well, the last two options. And then this one, you're also a part of it, because this is where we're all working as one, as a unit, right? So it's strength in numbers, and we're expressing our power. We're showing our power to those who are trying to destroy the earth and then throwing it back in our faces, right? So this is saying that you're going to be now focusing on growing your own food, teaching others how to grow their own food, protecting the land, being custodians of the land and all in it, right? Speaking up on that, having community meetings, whether it be through Zoom, face to face, but it's having an organization, a safe haven, a safe place where people can come and share their views, their opinions, but also receive wisdom on how they can bring about the changes to help the environment, right? So again, we're not talking about fanatical behavior, right? Definitely not. There's no violence here. There is absolutely no violence. Zero violence. But it's a safe haven for learning and for sharing wisdom. Look at that. And so we got the Magician. 2 cards just popped out. We have the Magician and we have the Chariot. Exactly. Look at that. It's like this is the place where everyone comes together, share what they know, and put it into practice. We have a plan of action in place and we're moving towards achieving that, right? So this is really giving me community vibes. So you already have your little homestead, or you already have a little patch of land where you're, and it doesn't have to be big. It's like it can be a small bit of your front garden, back garden, whatever, where you're planting vegetables, learning how to be at one with the earth, and you're sharing that wisdom with others. You're doing it, practicing it, but now you're expanding outwards. Wow, that is beautiful. I mean, this reading, I feel so safe, really happy, because I know that there's people out there, sane people, who truly believe in helping the earth, feeling connected to the earth, and it's just for them to be found and heard. Because there's a lot of people out there where they claim that they're for the earth, and they're following or in agreement with organizations where they're actually doing more harm than good. They're destroying, and they get all fanatical and crazy. That is not someone of the earth, and that is definitely not someone of God or Gaia, because that's not what they're about. Okay? Okay, let's see what else. Do I need to wrap this up, guys? Is there anything else, Gaia, that you'd like to share? It's very gentle, the message. It's really heavily focused on what we can do, right? It's stepping into our sovereignty as well. It is saying that we are the controllers of our destiny. We're the one that determine how this pans out. We have a say-so. We have free will. And it's stepping away from fear-based energy. Is there any guidance going on? 6 of Wings. Look at that. We have the ability to move away from the destructive energy into something that is more peaceful, but it is calling for us to look at the bigger picture here. Assess the situation. See what you can improve on and what you can't. What you can improve on, that's the first step. That's where we move towards making it, healing it, I'm hearing, and making it work out in our favor. But it's seeing what we have control of. What is the first plan of action, right? We need to figure that one out. It's not going around in circles talking about the same thing. The same issues that they're talking about now, I heard that when I was a little girl. Shit ain't happening, okay? It's not. So we gotta be realistic here. It's more, again, being connected with the earth, being at one with the earth, and actually what you put in, right? You can harvest, but make sure you put it back, right? So, or I should say, what you take from the earth, you put back in the earth, right? So also with trees, so they're cutting down trees and all. That's the thing I don't understand with this madness. They're cutting down trees. That's our oxygen source. Yeah, look at that. We have here the 7 of Swords. So looking at the bigger picture, being able to move away from destruction, from deception, by looking at the bigger picture here. Being able to see beyond or above the bullshit, right? And we have 2 Swords cards here. 6 of Swords, 7 of Swords. So it's using your logic, your reason, tapping into that sense. It's not always bad. Look at that Queen of Wands. What is honest? Being truthful, cutting away the bullshit. What doesn't serve you, you're going to be like, no, next, that goes. The only way to move forward with the 6 of Wands or the 6 of Swords, the only way to move forward is to be able to discern the truth, to see the truth of the matter, to spot lies, right? What's there to destroy, what's there to confuse us, and to remove it. Whether it be standing in your authority and saying we're not putting up with that, no, we don't agree with that, no, we're not doing that, or just removing it completely. Now, protests are good. However, the protests where we're out there marching and all that stuff, that's great, but it's not really going to be doing anything that's going to bring about major changes. Yes, it spreads awareness, and that's if it gets televised, but the best form of rebellion and saying that we're not putting this up with this anymore is to not spend your money on certain items. That's going to be making certain big companies a lot of money, where they're going to continue with their bullshit, with the agenda. Don't spend your money. Stop buying certain things. It's like the best way to bring about change is to hurt them in their pockets. And we all know this with divorce and all that stuff. A rich man want to hold on to his wealth. So think about that. Yeah, 3 of Fire. So it's like seeing the beyond, moving beyond the situation. So releasing the bullshit, seeing the deception, freeing yourself from it, and then being able to move forward to move in the direction that is right for you. And again, this is another balloon, and there is a bat here, a man looking at the bigger picture, getting a greater and higher perspective here as well. And it's also telling me that to step out of fear-based energy. There's no need to be afraid. There is no need to be afraid. Once you know your truth, Queen of Swords, once you are authentic to yourself, believe in your truth and live in your truth, there's nothing that can stop you. Okay? So I'm going to end the reading right here. If this reading resonates, leave a comment down below. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, press the notification bell. I'm also offering live Zoom readings. Information on that is in the description box below. And I'll see you next time. Bye.
Open your